think you know this place? You do not.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Now that Totenreich has been out for a couple of days, I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts and honest opinions on the map. As always, make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get right into it. So the first positive I wanted to bring up was the fact that this map looks absolutely gorgeous. It's like if Der Eisendrache in Call of the Dead had a baby. Like, the atmosphere is absolutely incredible, and I also love the way the skybox looks. It really makes you feel like you're still in the dark ether with the moving clouds and all the lightning and shit. Now, I've seen some people online complain about how it feels like we're not really in the dark ether anymore, and I can kind of understand that point a little bit. But at the same time, do you really expect every single map to have that purple dark ether aesthetic, or every map to have a crazy skybox? I personally love that every map in this game looks different. Plus, the whole point of us going to the dark ether anyway is so we can get some more cool and unique locations. Plus, could you imagine if every single map had the purple dark ether aesthetic? It would be overkill in my opinion. But personally, I love the way the map looks, and I love the way the map flows as well, with all the zip lines and the fast travel that you can use when you go into the Origins robot's head. Like, it's really cool. It's a great callback to Origins, and honestly, I think this map does it way better than the Tomb tried to do it. Because there, it just felt like they added shit from Origins just for the sake of it, but this actually feels like a proper callback. Not to mention, I think the fact that you can actually see the whole map outside of the robot's head is sick. But all around, the aesthetics and the visuals are so fucking beautiful in this map. Another positive I have for this map are the freeze rounds. Now, I'm not gonna lie, before this map came out, I was kind of skeptical about the whole freeze round thing, because they already tried something similar with Jingle Hells and stuff like that, but I just didn't find the freezing that slowed you down. I just did not find that fun. But here, they actually took that mechanic and actually made it work really well with Special Round. Like, every few rounds or so, your screen will turn white, and if you stay outside for too long, your body will freeze, but it doesn't really seem like it slows you down all that much. They also did make it so freeze rounds can freeze stuff like the Pack-a-Punch and stuff, which is actually, honestly, a really good feature. It definitely keeps you doing something throughout the match. Either way, I think the freeze rounds are actually really great, and they're pretty unique, so no complaints there. It's also an improvement from Black Ops 6 as well, as most of those maps had most of the same enemies on every single map. This map actually has no reused enemies, which they've done pretty well in this game anyway, not reusing enemies, so that's a W right there. Speaking of new enemies, we also have the new special enemy called the Necropincer. I really like the design of this enemy, and it honestly reminds me of the Giganese from Ancient Evil, except here they're more of a pushover. They do have a few different attacks, but for the most part, they are so easy to kill, it's actually pretty funny. But I'm also not gonna complain, because I also can't stand it when enemies are just there to be bullet sponges. But either way, I really like the Necropincer, and I think it's one of my favorite special enemies they've ever made. Once you get past the 20s though, they do start to spawn in kind of frequently, but there's only a few per round, and like I said, they're so easy to kill that sometimes you might not even notice they spawn in. Another thing I like about this map is the fact that we finally have some map-specific score streaks. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those people that likes to sit around and complain about having unique stuff in each map. But I do think Black Ops 7 did need something to differentiate these maps gameplay-wise at least. I think it would come a long way as well if they did at least one unique thing per map. That way it'll differentiate them a little bit more. And although it's not perfect and I feel like they could have gone one step further, it's still a great step in the right direction. Now, the Jotenstar Wonder Weapon is good, but it's not great. Although I think the Wonder Weapon quest to get it is actually really good, it's more of a spectacle than anything. The problem I have inherently with the Wonder Weapon is the fact that after you get to a certain round, it just falls off drastically. I definitely think it would be good if it had a buff, at least increase the melee damage on it a little bit or something. Because even in the boss fight, it's decent for crowd control, but it's still not great with the damage. I don't know, I definitely have to do a little more testing with it, but it definitely seems like the Jotenstar needs at least a little bit of a buff somehow. Because I honestly really like this Wonder Weapon, and I think it's really cool. It just needs some sort of a buff somehow. I don't know, do you guys think it needs a buff? Let me know. But like I said, the quest to get it is absolutely great, and the fact that you can see the Ice Yeti while you're doing the quest for it is really cool, and it's, like I said, it's a cool spectacle. The Pack-a-Punch camos are also pretty good on this map. Granted, not as good as Astra, Paradox, or Ashes of the Dam, just because those ones are a little more flashy, but this Pack-a-Punch camo is awesome. Especially the red one. I love the red one a lot. The Pack-a-Punch camos in this game have definitely been an improvement from the past, especially compared to like Cold War and stuff. I'm not even going to get started on Vanguard. I also have to give credit to the side quests and audio on this map. Now, of course, you have your small little Easter eggs like fishing and stuff like that, that pretty much gives you loot. But the best side Easter egg in all of COD Zombies, in my opinion, has to be the Richthofen side Easter egg. This quest kind of blew me away, to be honest. Obviously, it's like all the other characters in the game where you have a small side quest that basically tells their backstory. But I think this one is the best overall. Basically, Richthofen was in contact with Von List in his universe. And he made a deal where he committed some sacrifices, if you will, in order to gain control to Element 115 and create a nuke before the Americans in order to win World War II. This guy left New York in shambles, and he does not give a shit. He does not feel bad whatsoever. This guy is so fucking evil, and I can't wait to see how the story is going to end. I also think Dravakar is my favorite Shadowsmith out of all of them. I really like his design a lot. He honestly reminds me of like a Dark Souls character or something. Either way, the story has been really good so far, and like I said, I'm excited to see where the final two maps take it. But anyway, should you download this game just for this map? I don't know, that's really up to you, but personally, I think the map is really good and it's definitely a step in the right direction. But let me know what you guys think of Totenreich in the comments section. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, make sure you drop a like if you want to see more content like this, and peace out.